Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is May 26, 2023. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a Memorial Day surprise. So, it may come on the date of May 26th, May 27th, May 28th, or May 29th, but know that it is in fact planned. So exactly what the CIA is plotting to do this Memorial Day weekend is obviously not known, but the following are the most likely scenarios. Firstly, the CIA is going to stage a Russian attack on Ukraine. So this is most likely going to be a airstrikes and or chemical attack, most likely via the 82nd Airborne, which is stationed currently in Janoiska, Poland. So a week or two before the war, they put over the Chemical Battalion, whose slogan is "Death from Above," and these Air Force squadron, battalion, what have you, are waiting to stage a false flag Russian attack on Ukraine, most likely biological or chemical in nature. Secondly is an Arab League led by Iran attack or invasion of Israel. And maybe a full-scale invasion or, like I just previously mentioned, airstrikes with chemical or biological aspect, possibly via the 82nd Airborne in Poland. So they might do a run over Ukraine and then a run over Israel. And this would obviously trigger World War III. Generally speaking, when basically a false flag attack in likes of the USS Liberty is in order. So basically the CIA wants to pull the United States into a war with Russia and against Iran, and the best way to do that is stage a false flag. So that's what planned. Thirdly is that we can expect some sort of Joe Biden dissolution of presidency event on the date of May 28th, which is coincidentally 17,824 days since Richard M. Nixon resigned back on August 9th of 74, I believe, or 79. So this may come with a Joe Biden assassination, a Joe Biden death event, a Joe Biden coma, a Joe Biden hospitalization, Joe Biden incapacitation, or a Joe Biden resignation on this particular date. And this will, of course, bring forth the temporary presidency of one Kamala Harris, and this is designed to trigger a civil war, a constitutional crisis as pretext for a civil war within the United States. So that is expected. Joe Biden is currently in Wilmington, Delaware, where he plans to stay the weekend, and so some sort of an event is expected in the state of Delaware or while en route back to Washington, D.C. Being that it is Memorial Day weekend and millions of people are going to be out and about, it's highly likely that the CIA would stage some sort of horrific shark attack or boating accident, possibly high fatality in nature. Fifthly, the most likely scenario is that the CIA stages some sort of a mass shooting, high fatality mass shooting. It could be real or it could be fake, but something to garner the political will, if you will, for H.R. 1808, which is the ban on assault rifles that has already been passed by the House and is now awaiting Senate passage. So it's highly likely that the CIA would stage some sort of a mass shooting within the United States, Canada, or Mexico on the weekend of Memorial Day. In respect to the mass shooting, the CIA has staged over the last few months, they've staged a number of mass shootings targeting parties, private parties. So some sort of a mass shooting event, possibly at a park, possibly at a barbecue, possibly at a beach or a lakefront, is expected this weekend. Sixthly, the CIA is planning on staging Antifa or Black Lives Matter riots this weekend, most likely in the aftermath of a police-related assassination, killing, or hospitalization targeting an African American or other minority. Coincidentally, breaking news this morning is that the CIA claims that a 11-year-old boy called the police, and the police came and shot him in his own house in Mississippi. This 11-year-old name is Adarian Murray. So some sort of protests are expected, and then of course those protests will be countered by CI special forces posing as militia members, and they will be, of course, be armed with AR-15s and M16s, and there will be a massacre, and that will be the opening salvo of a civil war and draconian anti-Second Amendment legislation. Seventhly, the CIA is planning to stage some sort of Kobe Bryant, Michael Jackson level death event targeting a celebrity. They just assassinated Tina Turner in Switzerland, and so generally when the CIA assassinates celebrities, they generally come in pairs or triplets, so some sort of an assassination event, possibly masquerading as an accident or suicide or a drug overdose, is expected, targeting a celebrity, also possibly under the guise of a drunk driving or car accident. So some sort of Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Taylor Swift level of celebrity, Dwayne Johnson being killed. And last but not least is back on April 20th, we had this, the single largest rocket that's ever lifted off. SpaceX, Elon Musk, took off from Boca Chica, Texas. So that is the Starship, SpaceX Starship. So my theory is because this particular rocket disappeared in a smoke screen. Generally, when a rocket explodes, there's a massive fireball and all sorts of debris is scattered every which way. But in this particular case, it just kind of disappeared if you go back and watch the video. So this Starship rocket, which I believe is a two-stage rocket, meaning that after it took off, it split. So I believe there's two ICBM, nuclear ICBMs, floating in lower Earth orbit, or LEO, and it's going to make its way back down to Earth, where whatever target they choose, there will be also a set of explosives, probably 10,000 million tons of TNT, wherever it lands, and then people will think that it's a nuclear weapon. And of course, the Starship rocket, the head of it actually looks like a plane, or could masquerade as a plane. So this rocket is currently, or these twin rockets, I should say, possibly are currently airborne and slated to make their entry into our atmosphere sometime this weekend, on Memorial Day weekend. So the last two sites which I identified as potential strikes was Johannesburg, South Africa, and San Francisco, California. So obviously, cities like that are in war zones with like North Korea, so like Japan or Seoul, or with India and Pakistan like New Delhi, or Jerusalem or Tel Aviv next to Iran, or Kiev or Warsaw next to Russia, or the United States, possibly Washington, D.C., New York, Los Angeles, Seattle, etc., may be slated for some sort of ICBM rocket attack. And it's imperative to note here that this said rocket attack may be sold to the public as some sort of 9/11 style attack. So this is precisely why the CI disappeared Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 back on March 8th of 2014. And so they can say that this was Islamic terrorists or what have you that flew the plane into the ground, when in reality it was just a missile strike. So anyways, just to recap, Russian attack or invasion of Ukraine, Iran-led Arab countries' invasion of Israel, Biden dissolution of presidency event, shark attacks, boating accidents, mass shootings, Antifa or Black Lives Matter riots as pretext for martial law, a celebrity death event, or a Starship nuclear attack. Praying for a peaceful weekend, and as always, in the event that any of the aforementioned scenarios come to fruition, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, local, national, and international media outlets, as well as local, state, and or federal intelligence officials, military officials, and hopefully it will be a peaceful weekend. Peace.